All right, here with Pat Downey, the evening of the Olympic trials. Before we get into wrestling, are we good, man? Are we cool?
Yeah.
I've enjoyed your
it's all
company.
love.
All love. Okay.
My nerd, Christina. It's all love.
I like my nerd.
All right, I'm sorry.
I like that better.
I got you.
Because Christina,
I'm piggybacking on Ferrari.
You're an original.
Right.
There's only one Pat Downey. There's only
True.
one Lizard King.
True.
I don't think the sport of wrestling has ever had a Pat Downey before, is it?
No.
Would you probably agree with that?
I agree, even though I am the third, daddy and granddaddy never wrestled, so I'll give you that one. I'm an OG.
So, there's been, people were like, can Pat Downey, can he actually wrestle in this? Is he qualified? Can he do it? When did you decide you were going to be wrestling at the Olympic trials?
I think we found out I was qualified on Thanksgiving, meaning nothing came to be with the cancellation that I was dealing with Safe Sport and the drama of Twitter. And it was a few years ago, and I wrestled in, in the other trials. So I knew I was good to compete. But moving forward on Thanksgiving, I saw that I was qualified, and I said, I haven't competed in a year, and this is feeling weird. Like, it's the longest hiatus I've ever had from competition in anything since I was, legit 5, 6, 7 years old. So I was really itching, and I'm like, what should I get back into? Because I want to fight again, I want to grapple again, but wrestling's my home, my base, where I'm most comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, would I have liked to had a couple tune-ups? In an ideal world, you kind of don't just go compete at the Olympic trials. You kind of wrestle in a tournament here. You make weight, go through that whole process. As a kind of way to get off the ring rust, if you will. But a few months ago, decided I was going to come scrap.
Got it. So I guess catch wrestling fans up. What has Pat Downey been up to? I know you're with Bellator, and haven't seen you on the wrestling mat in a while. So what has your day-to-day been like? Catch us up the last couple of years. Where you are, where you're training.
Yeah, I was in Kill Cliff, and I moved about 12 months ago. After I lost my fight in Bellator, I showed up, not properly prepared, and they didn't like that. Canceled me, cut me. So I lost that contract, and then they kind of grouped, and now they're PFL, and so I do want to compete again in MMA. I'm going to fight again locally, probably Shogun, to get some regional wins and try to get back on the circuit. But until then, like I'm saying, it's just a better route for me to prepare. It was going wrestling, then into grappling, maybe some submission, combat grappling, full contact, stuff like that, and then fight. But on the day-to-day, I'm training at St. Francis, which got a bunch of high school guys, and then Morgan State right there in Baltimore with Coach Monday. That's really good. With Dry Trice, and they got new guys coming in, Kennedy Monday, and all the recruits he's got. So there is a good local wrestling scene in Baltimore. So in a way, it's kind of like come full circle, being at like the Olympic Training Center and this, that, the third, and all these different places I've been now to kind of come back home and wrestle out of Baltimore. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've watched you wrestle over the years. A trained and prepared Pat Downey is up there with the elite of '86. But I've also seen other Pat Downeys, and the level of preparation's been different, and the results are very different. What Pat Downey are we going to see tomorrow? Yeah,
that's the $1 million question. I'm almost with y'all having to find out myself, because you feel one way in the room, but it's not the real. I haven't done the real. I haven't weighed in, made scratch weight, had referees, had world-class opposition like we do in this country. So, there's a big misconception that just because I'm qualified, it doesn't mean anything. But it does. It still means you're one of the best in the country at wrestling. So, people kind of forget that, like, to your point, there's a Pat Downey that can show up off the street smoking a backwood. He might take 7th at the U.S. Open. That happened, I might lose my first round matches, get that cardio out of me, but I'll still wrestle tough and try to compete. But I'm not going to win the Open. But then there's a Pat Downey that's going to sleep and training and living right at the NJRTC, and I didn't lose in this country for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get both sides of the coin, and maybe that's what makes people want to tune in.
Yeah. Do you see yourself entering into full-time wrestling training again? Do you see yourself joining an RTC or a training situation that you're going to have a coach, you're going to have
I would love that. I would love to give one more real cycle, especially now that I'm healthy and I have a good baseline shape. I've been living right, training consistently, eating right, sleeping, going, living with my girl and my dog, just doing the right things on a day-to-day. That really set me up for, world level success. So that would be the goal, right? Whether it's at a coaching position or a head of a RTC position or just as an athlete, that would be lovely. But ultimately, I'm an athlete. I'm probably going to do this until I can't do it.
Yeah.
Whether it's wrestling, grappling, MMA, I just don't feel good doing other things.
Yeah.
Tried, and I hate it. So it's just like, here I am, 31.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how old are you now?
Yeah, I'm 31.
31 years old.
Yeah.
Now, are you finding yourself slowing down, maybe not physically, but, slowing down your lifestyle a
Oh,
little
well,
bit?
I feel like I can't do the stuff that I used to do at
Yeah.
19 through 21, even my mid-20s. I won't recover the same way. I'll get injured. I feel it a few days. Lifestyle, I'm a hard-nosed East Baltimore kid. I, grew up a certain way, and I've had to change things if I want to give myself a shot of being competitive at the highest level in my 30s,
Yeah.
It's just the human laws.
Exactly.
Yeah, it catches up with it.
Do you look back at, from late high school on and be like, man, I wish I'd have done things a little bit differently, or are you satisfied with kind of where you're at right now?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I fucking botched my college career terribly. I mean, I wrestled in the NCAA tournament one time. I've beaten 7, 8, 9 NCAA champs. Of course, I live with regrets, but, I'm not going to allow them that pain to keep reliving, and I already have the scars on my heart from that. I already got to live with it, so I'm not just going to keep kicking my own ass. You got to forgive yourself eventually and let yourself move on. I'm finally happy and healthy because I don't just dwell in the past.
Yeah. Was there a time where that was a focus for you?
Definitely, yeah, and you start avoiding reality, numbing yourself to reality with, other things, and, even that whole, leaving wrestling prematurely, now coming back. I always wanted to leave the sport as a world champion, Olympic champion on my terms, and then go pursue this other goal. And I kind of feel like it was left on someone else's terms, and maybe that's what keeps me coming back. But definitely wish I could do some things differently.
Yeah. As far as, let's focus in on kind of what's before you, right? You're going to work out here and you're going to compete tomorrow. First round match against Carter Starocci. He wasn't going to be in this weight. Now he's coming up. You've talked a little bit. He's a little back and forth on Twitter between you two. But what are your thoughts on that matchup, tactically, technically?
Yeah, I mean, I just see all the Penn State guys making excuses for him, calling him undersized. How are you undersized? You can't physically make 163 pounds and wrestle that day. So this is the only other weight you can wrestle in. You're not undersized. You're my size. We're going to weigh in at the same weight class.
Yeah.
So I get it. He might be better at 79 kilograms, or he might be better if he didn't have a knee brace on or something like that. But I'm going to treat the dude just like any other world-class op. You know what I mean? And treat the match and take him very seriously and, try to roll him up like I do to people.
Yeah. As you look at the bracket, have you looked at your bracket beyond Carter?
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot of ops in there and good wrestling. It's a big bracket too. At the 11th seed, I think I got 5 matches tomorrow if I want to see David.
Yeah.
I think it would go Carter Starocci, then Headley, then Marsteller, then Valencia, then, Brooks or Deeringer. Because that's who's going to come out at the top. Brooks or Deeringer, in my opinion. That's the winner of the top. But I'm saying just to get to them, you got to get through, a world medalist, a world ranked guy like Chance, properly trained guy, good. So it's no small task making it to David to get that match that I never got back. When I was on that undercard with the big Chamizo card.
Yeah.
Remember, I was really looking forward to wrestling him there. That was probably some of my best form I was in. So that one sucked. So I'm still trying to wrestle that match.
Yeah.
But now I gotta go through a gauntlet just to get to him. So it's like he's got to be feeling good. Or a guy like Burroughs, how's he expected to go through this gauntlet and then make it to a fresh date?
Yeah.
The process is tough. For a guy sitting out, they got extreme advantage.
Yeah.
No
doubt about it. Of the guys in your bracket, have you ever rolled around with someone like Zahid?
All of them, yeah. I mean, Zahid beat me for the national team at the last trials.
Okay.
So up until that match, that was his first time ever really beating me. In simulations, Mark Perry, he would coach us up, or Reese would have us wrestle in the room, they had OTC simulations. We would always be neck and neck, back and forth. But he had Mark in his corner who coached me at Iowa, and I think they had a great scout on me at the trials. And, he beat me. I don't have any excuses.
Yeah.
He wrestled a great match, So credit to Zahid on the last time we wrestled. But yeah, I'm really familiar with all them guys. Deeringer and I have been on junior world teams together. Marsteller was on a cadet when I was on juniors. He was wrestling with Colats growing up. Aaron Brooks, I was helping him win a cadet world title. His daddy would bring me in to get him ready.
Yeah.
So now he's kind of the boy becoming the man. So I got You know, Mark Hall was at the Olympic Training Center when I was there in the developmental program. So for the exception of like the younger guys, the guys that are just winning national titles, like I don't know Starocci very well, or that kid who won it at UNI '84.
Yeah,
he's in the bracket. I don't know him personally. Like there's a few guys I don't know, but the majority of the bracket, we all know each other. You know. Yeah. So it's a great weight class. I mean.
Are you? How excited are you to compete again?
I'm fucking thrilled. I mean, I love it. If you know me, I love this stuff. Every match, every fight, anything I do, I go out there with a smile on my face. You know, came up here with my girlfriend and my dog and my family. So, yeah, I'm just excited and happy to have this opportunity.
Who's in your corner this weekend?
Maybe Daddy or Provisor. I kind of let it spontaneously go as a feeling thing.
Vibes?
Yeah, the vibes are a big thing for me. I just need somebody that I can look at and they know, hey, they're throwing some goofy shit up there. Throw that cube. You know, I don't need maybe throw me some water or a towel, but it's just somebody who knows what they're looking at.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, cube me. Because I don't think they let us challenge. I had that big problem at the last trials. Like, you know, I'm on my way to Tech and Bo Nickel, and they just take my points away, and I don't get to throw the cube. Or I teched Aaron Brooks twice, and I had to throw the cube, and they wouldn't let me. So then they take my tech away, and I got to go retech them. So I'm trying to avoid having to beat world-class ops and refs. You know what I mean? Like, that's my goal here. Just beat one opponent at a time. We'll see.
That's a fair request.
Fair.
How is the weight? You're always... It's interesting because...
How's the weight? Is he going to make it?
You going to make the weight?
Lunatic friend?
Well, it's funny you say that because so many people have hit me up. Is Downey really... Is he going to show up? Is he going to be... A lot of people are like, is Downey going to make the walk?
Yeah.
And I have been team... He's coming. He's going to wrestle.
Yeah.
So you're here.
Yeah.
We are officially.
I failed to compete at one time in a match against Gadsden when my grandfather died. Like I had to bury my grandfather. Now everybody calls me a no-show in the stalemate street league thing. And now I'm a no-show. I mean, you guys must have forgot who started this. Anyone, anytime, anywhere. Like I've always been the biggest advocate of wrestling.
Yeah.
You know?
Competing. Yeah.
Anyone, anytime, anywhere. I compete. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So you can question me all you want. These people don't know me. You know what I mean?
Well, it's good to see you here. You inject some excitement. I mean, you are a different flavor to the wrestling palate. I'll say that. it's different. What's it like being kind of the odd duck or different kind of personality? It's a very head down, humble, minimal talk, and you're just not that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never tried to fit in, you know, but I'm not trying to stand out either. I'm just me, you know, and if people don't like me, that's fine, because I'm not doing this for people to like me.
Yeah.
You know, I do this for people like me. There's other people out there like me that see what I do, and they believe that they can too, whether they're from Baltimore or whatever area, background, demographic, you know, race, this, that kind of, you know, poverty, this, that, whatever your situation is, there's people like me that do resonate. So I do know that because they let me feel it too, you know?
Yeah. I started a question there. I distracted myself. But is the weight an issue for you at all? Or is
no,
you a good size 86?
I'm on weight. Yeah. I was 232 on Thanksgiving. Now I'm
Whoa.
not. Yeah, I was biggest I'd ever been.
A lot of turkey.
A lot of turkey. A lot of weights
crabs?
too. After Baltimore crab. But honestly, I did that with an intent. I wanted to get huge, heal my injuries, power lift, get focused on just strength and conditioning. And then when I planned on making this weight, I knew that if I was going to make this weight again, the process required to lose that weight would force me to take stress off my joints, heal injuries, and create cardio.
All right, so you're a man with a plan.
This was scientific. This was literally planned.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
you're a deeper thinker than I think some people may realize. It's a little smart, kind of smart.
I ain't no dummy.
No, not at all. All right, well, I'll give you the last word, Pat. You got anything else for your fans and people that are gonna be watching you tomorrow?
PD3's here, baby. Prepare to be debunked.
Thanks, Pat.
Little soundbite.